Charles Price on Tuesday the 1st of September with me, Rich Perry, market analyst at Hantech Markets. Let's look at gold, and this gold chart started to rally actually a couple of days ago, 2 or 3 days ago, and we've seen this sort of form the support around that sort of 1,117 area, and it seems as though gold has sort of led a little bit of the market in terms of the other. Gold price started to rally again, having seen a big correction. Gold price started to rally a few days ago, and that rally has only started to come through in the major markets, like euro and the yen, in the past day, and that move from the safe haven flows from the China PMI has certainly helped say, for example, the euro and the yen strengthening. Not necessarily good for sentiment, certainly isn't good for sentiment, but it certainly has helped the euro and the yen benefit from that, also the Swissy, and also in this instance the gold price as well. And the move that we're seeing in gold is sort of turning this around, really. This correction, we're seeing the sort of support that is now formed at that 1,117. That's sort of bounced quite significantly from that, sort of over $20 from that support, $25. So it's a pretty decent move we've seen already from that support, and that's now turning the momentum indicators around. RSI sort of forming more of a neutral configuration, really, I think, on the medium term basis, as with the MACD lines and sort of stochastics as well. But certainly the near term outlook is sort of benefiting because you've got these high lows and high highs. You've also seen a move sort of back above the resistance initially, that big old floor of 1,131.85. That sort of initially started to act as resistance, but then we started to break through it, and it's been used a little bit as a floor. So it's a minor pivot level, I would say, but the test you'd need to see is above 1146. That is a reaction low within the selling pressure. That is also sort of marked a bit of a low from this top pattern, a bit of a neckline, you could argue, from that top. So that is still in place, I think, as well. So 1146, if we started to see gold trading decisively through that level, I think that's a really positive mood for gold. It could well see a full retracement back to the highs of 1167, but with minor rolling over. You've seen the momentum on the hourly, actually, on the RSI towards 70, but just starting to stutter around that sort of level. MACD lines are positive, and the stochastics also positive, but just very near term, very slight slowing of that move. So maybe looking at using little corrections as a chance to buy. You've got a nice sort of band of support, really, over the last couple of days, or 36 hours or so, where you had a breakout above 1136 area, 1135.50, and that could well now become the basis of support. So maybe look towards that as a level to work with if you started to get this little sort of rally rolling over a bit. So 135.50 to 136 is a decent line of support, but even anything really between that level and 140 seems to be fairly reasonable in terms of near-term support. So maybe look at that as a level to get in, perhaps, because it seems as though the outlook is improving once again on gold near term, and I stress this near term because I think medium term, I think you can't really suggest there's any significant sort of trend developing on this chart yet, and it's sort of still a very choppy range play, I think, rather than developing any real trend signals. So we need to play this with caution on a medium-term basis. But there is the prospect of near-term gains to be had, but just be careful on a medium-term basis. So I wish you good luck in your trading on gold today.